everybody. Saturday night. Most people are already out having a good time. I intend on being in and having a good time. Today we're going to make some jerky. At least the way I make it. I'm sure everyone out there's got their own recipe and technique. This is mine. So what we got here is a piece of topside. I actually got this on discount, so pretty happy with that. Alright, so as you can see, we've got the sinew and we've got the fat. Now anyone who makes jerky knows that fat is the enemy. First thing that's going to go off is definitely going to be fat. So let's trim this. Oh yeah, so just had to have a location change there. Should be right there. So like I said before, I'm going to make sure that you can remove all the fat to begin with, because fat is the first thing that will go rancid. I've got a lot of people out there screaming about my knife techniques, or maybe their lack of it. But if it works, it works. That's all that matters. I try to wait until meat goes on special and buy up as much as I can. A big freezer definitely helps. Power then becomes an issue, but you work around it. The savings are definitely there. See this membrane here? This membrane here, we want that gone too. Smoking and drying of meat has probably been used for thousands of years, or probably has been used for thousands of years. It's a form of keeping the harvest. These days we have the luxuries of freezers and supermarkets, but as we all know in the community that we're all in, that those times are probably most likely going to be coming to an end. So it's always good to keep up to date on your techniques. I usually use the cuff cuts like these meat here there, feed the animals. Fat, definitely throw it out. Not used to anyone. Just end up with fat animals. Yeah, so we got a bit more membrane here. Just want to try and get rid of that as well. Yeah, so I'll be back in a second. I'll get this all cut up, ready to roll. Alright, it should be good. Alright, see you soon. You would not believe how small my kitchen is, but we managed to get the camera in here. Alright, so what we're doing now is making sure that we get this fairly thin, but not too thin as it falls apart in the process. The thinner we get it, the easier it's going to be to dry it out. So that's what we're sort of looking for. so that's our 3 different types we're going to do today. We got the wet one, which we did with the honey barbecue. We got the dry one, which we did with the paprika, salt, pepper, and ginger. Alright, and then this one here we just done with salt. I'm going to leave this overnight, wrapped up in the fridge, to really compound those flavours. Alright, see you in a bit. How's it going? So, next day, we got our marinades done. So we got our dry rub, we got our wet, and we done one with some salt as a comparison. Now we're going to stack it up inside our dehydrator here. Alright, the brand that we've been using and have been using for years is the Fowlers. It's just a good workhorse and does what it's supposed to do. You want to make sure that your dehydrator has temperature control. If it doesn't have this, then it only should be used for fruit. Temperature control, you want to be at that 63 degrees and a little bit above for your meat. Alright, 145 degrees Fahrenheit. Welcome back. As you can see, the drying process is over. It was about 10 hours in total. So what we got here is our 3 types of jerky that we made today. We got a dry rub, we got our wet, and this one here is done with just salt. Now starting this one, as you can see, it's a high amount of fat. You can see the fat on there? That's the wetness. Now this, in making the jerky, is not good. This will be the first thing that goes rancid if you're trying to keep this for any extended period of time. Okay, so that is definitely not good. Now you can see all that wetness off there. Alright, moisture is definitely the enemy. Alright, so going to the dry one, as a comparison, see that? Those are the fibers of the meat. Alright, that's telling you that definitely you dry it all the way through. Breaks up nice and easy. Bit of a chew. Get the moisture back in there. I need that texture of meat again. Really good for soups. Eating it by itself. Lasts pretty much indefinitely, as long as you can keep the moisture out. I probably wouldn't be shelving this any more than say 12 months at the most. I've had jerky that's been 2 years old. It's quite fine, but definitely batch to batch definitely changes. Now what we got over here is our wet. Now this was done with the sauce that you saw before. This too is dried all the way through. This one took a little bit longer than the dry rub. As you can see, the moisture is definitely gone. It's got a bit more of a malleable state to it. That's pretty much from the sugars that came out of the sauce. Quite nice. Now, what I got here is some store-bought, good old Audis, Hosdale, Australian made. Now, I don't know if you can see that. There's a lot of crap in there. Besides the beef, you got proteins, acid regulators, antioxidants, sodium nitrate. Yeah, it's definitely not good. So let's have a look at this. Definitely smells beefy. Okay. This is not pleasant looking at all. It looks like a fruit roller. Smells beefy. There's like a wax coating to the outside too. It is definitely not dry. This is definitely not good. I don't buy jerky at all from the store. If I feel like jerky, then I go for the long, painful process of making it. Not so much painful, but definitely long. Yeah, that is. Okay, we're gonna try this. Alright, so. Yeah, that is not. Yeah, that is gross. And I'm just saying that because I made the rest of this myself. Definitely from a consumer point of view, yuck. You do not eat oxygen dissolver. The oxygen dissolver would probably taste better. Yeah, that is definitely gross. Antioxidants, sodium nitrate, as I said before. Spice extract, acidity regulator as well. Oh, yeah, definitely, that's gross. So yeah, so that's jerky. 3 ways. Salt, the mix that you saw we made before, and wet. And the wet is just simply sauce out of a bottle. You can get original, make up your own wet stuff. I have before. But yeah, well, I hope you enjoyed it. We're going to do some more cooking videos in future. Until then, this is Anarchy Operations out. Thank you.